Hi everyone, welcome to the Off-Grid House. So I got myself Actually, I've been doing quite a few things out here, so let's have a look at some things I've been doing. One of them is I've been rewiring my batteries. I've made a new jumper link here, looks a bit better than the old fat, absolutely overkill jumper link that we have here, just incredibly unnecessary. Got some new wires to the inverter here. They're 10 square millimeter, which is pretty good. Should survive. It's such a short run, so it should be fine. Inverter, I don't really use a whole lot of power from it anyways. It's only about 1 kilowatt anyways of continuous power. And so these meters are no longer connected because they are just way too inaccurate. They are not good for anything really, so we're gonna remove those. We got the good old meters running here. You can see the battery voltage is right about 13 volts. Obviously we got nothing coming in since it's the middle of the night. The little TS1024 charge controller here is doing a good job, and I made some new wires for that as well, and I shortened the lead coming from the solar panel fuse here. So we have actually a bit less losses there, because this is 1 square millimeter and my solar panels can put out about 8 amps peak, so that wire is a bit underdimensioned really, if I'm gonna be honest, but it's fine, and it's not gonna get overheated or anything like that. There's not a chance. But yeah, a little MPPT charge controller actually works really well, that thing. For the price, it's actually a really good charge controller, but it can only handle an absolute maximum of 10 amps. So it says 130 watts on 12 volts, and at 24 volts 260 watts, so you don't get a whole lot out of it actually. But yeah, what I'm messing around with tonight is this over here. Let's have a look. My camera decided to stop focusing. Not really sure why. Come on. Ah, there we go. This is a mercury fixture, and it's a mercury vapor fixture. And I've taken it apart, obviously, so you can see this thing is a bit of a cleanup. But I was thinking about installing this in here. I got this contraption right now. This is just an old light socket, which is wired to these two ballasts here, and these are just some random ones, so these are not proper whatsoever. And that's the mercury bulb. It's a 125 watt bulb, and over here is the innards of that lamp. And what we're gonna do tonight, since I don't know anything about this, I literally picked that lamp off of a little building the other day. I don't know anything about it. It was last powered on like 10 years ago. So there's a few things we need to check. I've rewired the ballast to 80 watts. You have the different taps here, 125 and 80. I put it on 80 even though I have a 125 bulb, because I want to try and get a little less power draw and conserve the life of the bulb. But there's one thing here which we need to have a look at before we apply power to this. This is a really old capacitor, and it's a 10 microfarad. The camera is having such a hard time focusing. Let's try now. There we go. It's a 10 microfarad capacitor, and there's a date code here, 88. So, you know, it's what? 40 years old, 30 years old by now. So this capacitor, we have no idea about its condition. But luckily it's just connected across the line in neutral, and since there's no bulb here or anything, we can just measure on these terminals. And I'm just gonna make sure that the thing isn't, you know, dead short or something like that. I'm not sure if this is a film capacitor or if this is an electrolytic. it might be a film capacitor, and if so, not much that can go wrong with it. But we will have to get a multimeter on here and check it, and we might as well check if it's any good. And yeah, it's a 10 microfarad, and that is to improve the power factor of this ballast. As you can see here, the power factor, if you run an 80 watt, is 0.5. So you're gonna have 0.5 power factor, which is pretty terrible. Now in this case, we're running off-grid here, so it doesn't actually matter what the power factor is, but it does make the inverter a lot happier if you run good power factors from it. So we are gonna make sure we have this capacitor there, and we're gonna wire it up to an extension cord, and we're gonna make sure this works. And the second reason I want to wire it up to an extension cord is so I can walk around in here and find a suitable mounting location, because we can't mount it here in the middle of the roof, of course. And the reason I can't keep this holder is because it just can't handle the heat long term. It's not designed for a mercury bulb, of course. And the glass for it is sitting over there. It's way too small, so it doesn't even cover the bulb. And if I were to put that on, I'm pretty sure the bulb is gonna have a meltdown in there, so that's not suitable at all. But yeah, I got a power cord here. Very heavy duty and overkill, but it'll work. So we're gonna wire that up and see what happens. We need to check the capacitor, so I need to go get one of my good multimeters. I obviously don't keep anything of real value out here in case someone comes and steals things, but nobody has ever entered here, so I don't think that's something I need to worry about all that much. But yeah, bats have been rewired, looking a bit better than it was before, and there's a bit of corrosion happening here on these terminals. I need to take them back off and clean them at some stage, but not tonight. And here we got inverter wired in nicely there with these, giving it all the power it needs. A pure sine wave inverter with a inverter board in there. I put this thing together myself, and it's a really nice unit. It can handle 2000 watts for short periods of time and about 1000 continuous. But I downrated it to 600, as you can see on my label there, because it is completely passively cooled, because I hate loud fans. So I decided to just downrate it a little bit, and 600 watts seems to be about what it can handle and dissipate. It's got about, I would say, 85 maybe % efficiency. It's not the best, definitely not the best. It's a switch mode inverter, so it is more efficient than a transformer inverter, of course, but it's still not all that great. But it does work really well, and it's got a very, very nice output waveform, better than mains. It's absolutely fantastic. And you can change the frequency to 50 or 60 Hertz, and inside there's a voltage adjustment, which is a bit fiddly. You gotta hold it in while you turn the power on to adjust it. It's really irritating, but yeah, you just set it to 230, and when you've done that, you don't need to touch that anymore. But I thought it was a fun idea to add a frequency switch here, because for experimental reasons it can be fun to run something on 60 Hertz instead of 50. So that's what I did. But yeah, we need to get my good multimeter out here, and we're gonna wire this up to this power cord, and once we've done that, we can see if that ballast works. And all that, I think the ballast is gonna be just fine, but that capacitor is questionable. You don't necessarily need the capacitor, but I want to have a capacitor for a better power factor, of course. And we're gonna take the bulb and we're gonna try it out. So yeah, And that's the bulb from this fixture indeed that I have up here in this temporary fixture. And originally I used to have a pair of fluoro lamps in here, which technically speaking is better because it provides more uniform light in here, but they draw a lot of power and they actually don't have that great efficiency. The mercury bulb actually is better and it has an incredible lifespan, 24,000 hours easily. And if you run it at, I'm gonna run it at 80 watts instead of its rated 125, so it's gonna last longer than I'll be alive, technically. But yeah, let's go get the multimeter and check the ballast. Not the ballast, the capacitor. And if the capacitor isn't all messed up, then we'll apply power to it and we'll see what happens. The sky is absolutely beautiful tonight. Yeah. Really, really nice. Well, good news are we don't have a short, but it is climbing rather slowly. So, leakage, probably. Let's test it for capacitance. 8.9 microfarads. Well, it's supposed to be 10 plus minus 10%, so it's actually down about 10%, but this is usable. This is definitely usable. So yeah, we have a decent capacitor. Capacitor is a word I picked up from X-Ray Tony B. Great YouTube channel. You should definitely watch him if you're interested in electronics and stuff like that, just like I am. See if I can set up the camera here a bit and film a little bit of this when I mess around with this here. Wire it up. There we go. That might produce some kind of video. So, why am I not using LEDs out here? I'm sure all of you are screaming, LEDs exist, why don't you use them? Well, LEDs, you can't get those for free, because, yeah, people obviously use them, so you can't just trash pick them and get them for free, really. And if you do find them in the trash, they usually always have bad power supplies. I find that the power supplies on LEDs are really, really unreliable, and yeah, it's just not ideal. And yeah, I'm just gonna hook the ground up like this right now. I know it's not an ideal solution, but this is just a test, I promise. So let me just hook the ground up here just in case there's a problem, because I do have a ground fault circuit interrupter here. So let's get the bulb from the roof here. Whoops. Yeah, LEDs, they're not free. People don't throw those out. Mercury bulbs and stuff, however, people throw these things out all the time because they replace them with LEDs. But there's a thing with LEDs also. Yeah, they're efficient and all, but to be perfectly honest with you, their power supplies freaking suck. For real. They often break down, and often in many cheap LED lights the power supplies are, they don't have proper phase compensation and stuff. Let's turn this on. Here we go, we've got voltage. Switch it over to 50 Hertz, because I think it was set to 60. Let's plug this in. Yeah, it works. Fantastic. Let's turn the phone flash off here. See, the thing is warming up, vibrating a bit. Hopefully that capacitor doesn't explode. I'm gonna keep an eye on how if it gets warm or anything like that. But here we go. It's now warming up. And the camera is showing incorrect colors here. Let's see, can we... There we go. That's about how it looks in real life. And the camera doesn't like 50 Hertz, but gonna have to deal with that. So yeah, we got it on the 80 watt tap right now. So let's see. AC amps. 0.9 amps. 0.9 amps. So this is not a true RMS clamp, by the way, so don't trust this too much. But 0.9 amps, and I think it said 0.8. So, and the lamp isn't warmed up yet. Let's see how much current we have on the DC side of things. And of course this bloody thing is temperature very unstable. So see how much current are we pulling on the DC side of things. About 5 amps, so we're not pulling all that much on the DC side of things yet. And the lamp is still... So yeah, that's about 60 watts or so right now, including inverter losses. Well, yeah, it is warming up, definitely. And starting to produce actually quite a bit of light already. But yeah, the warm-up time is going to be a bit longer running it on 80 watts, but I think 80 watts is going to be much kinder to the bulb. We'll do this now so we don't need to watch that flicker. If you change the, what's it called, exposure compensation on your camera, you can actually make it, you know, stop flicker if you increase it, because the shutter time gets, I think, longer. I'm not sure. Here we got about 6.2 amps being drawn off of the battery right now, so not a whole lot. And you can see this thing is putting out substantial amount of light already. Mercury lamps are actually pretty efficient. They have, I think, these ones, which are not that old really, they have an efficiency of about 57 lumen per watt or something like that. It's not like an LED, but it is better than fluoro tubes, definitely. And this is a color corrected lamp, so it produces a very nice, yeah, very nice light actually. And yeah, pulling about 6.9 amps, still climbing slightly here. Also the battery voltage is gonna be dropping, so that's also gonna cause it to climb, but I don't think the lamp is fully warm yet. See, how's that cap doing? It's not warm, so I think the capacitor is doing alright. See, the mercury bulb itself is starting to get hot now, so it's probably up to reasonable operating temperature at this point. It's flickering a little bit for some reason, not sure why. If that's the lamp or if it's my inverter being silly. This thing has the voltage regulation on this thing is, it jumps a little bit when it tries to compensate for lower battery voltage. But we're pulling about 7.5 amps. This thing got way off now when I dropped the bloody thing there. This bloody clamp meter is just complete chaos, really. I used to have a Fluke, but I no longer have that one. We're pulling about 7.6 amps now, and it seems to be stabilized at 7.6 amps. So that is about 90 watts, including inverter losses and all that. So yeah, we probably are putting about 80 watts into this. And yeah, it is absolutely incredible how much brightness it's putting out. 7.8 amps. Not at all bad. And let's switch over to AC amps. See what this thing is pulling now. There we go, it's now pulling about 900 milliamps. Yeah, not bad at all. I am quite impressed with that. Let's see, can we touch this without it killing me now? Where are the danger spots? I think if I hold it like this, it's not gonna shock me too bloody bad. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. For this is a quite substantial amount of light, even at 80 watts. Okay, let's put it up here. Yeah, not bad. Definitely not bad. It's quite good, isn't it? Very good. Quite impressed. And here you can see operating at exactly 230 volts frequency, exactly 50 Hertz, bang on. This power inverter is excellent. See, there you go. So yeah, now we're just gonna figure out where to mount the bloody thing. Here would be an ideal position, although it's gonna be hard because I can't just screw it into the plastic. It's never gonna hold the weight of it, so we'll need to do something there. But yeah, the fixture is working. Wow, it's really flickering now, isn't it? I've been experimenting a little bit with placements, and you know, I really want the lamp here so it can shine down like this on the workbench area here, but I find that's going to be a bit problematic because there's no real good place to mount it here, and I was thinking mounting a piece of plywood here with something up here and up here to secure it, but you see how thick the frame is there and how thin it's there. It's going to be really complicated, and we have the ventilation fan here, which is an absolute necessity. It cannot be blocked, it must always work. And yeah, I'm using this as my work light right now. It's working really well actually. And the second option I had was putting the light here over the bench, which is here, and you know, have it shine here, but it's gonna be too bloody close to my head. I'm guaranteed gonna knock the bulb and smash it. I don't want that to happen, because I only have one mercury bulb and I don't want to waste an absolutely beautiful piece of technology, obviously. And the last option I have in mind is here over the door, because there is a frame here over the door which we can mount it to very securely. So we can just drill in here with some big self-tappers, just bang bang, make sure it doesn't touch the actual door, which is this frame, of course. That's the door itself, and then the light would sit here. But the problem is the light is too bloody long, so I'm gonna have to cut the bloody, you see, it hits the roof up there before it's level here, so that's not gonna work. I'm gonna need to cut the lamp off. I'm gonna have to shorten this piece of tube and I'll cut it here so that we get it a bit further in, of course, so that we don't get any interference with the roof here. But yeah, if I took the lamp there and I held it here, and it actually lights up the area pretty good. I'm quite impressed. However, I do lack a bit of light at the bench, but to be honest, putting the lamp up here, I was also lacking a bit of light at the desk. So what I think I need to do is I need to get a small localized light source over the desk anyways. So mounting the mercury lamp over there is probably a pretty good option. And another good option with that is it's gonna fire the light into the building, and it's not going to fire it towards the door, because on that side of the door, about 100 meters away, people are living. So right now the whole house is lit up, which is cool and nobody really cares, but it would be kind of good if I could shine the light away from that wall so that that wall doesn't light up as much. I don't think anybody cares, but you know, it's unnecessary to shine the light this way because it's not useful here. So I'll try and shine the light this way instead. And yeah, it's not gonna be ideal, and this would be a really good spot, but I can't really put this fixture up there. Of course, I tried all kinds of different ideas with mounting it here, and it's never gonna work. And of course I can put the mercury lamp in there, but this fixture is only designed for a 75 watt incandescent, and the other problem is I want to have this on there, and obviously the mercury lamp is not gonna fit in here, unfortunately. It's really close, but it doesn't actually fit in there. And even if it did, that thing would get overheated, and so would this, and it might crack from the temperature difference that would occur when the thing warms up and cools down. So, but what I am thinking about doing is just leaving that in place there. Of course I'm gonna remove these ballasts and stuff, because that's not gonna be necessary now when I have the proper ballast here. And we're gonna run direct power to that one from the switch here. And I was thinking about putting another switch over there by the door, but I don't have enough wire for that. So one switch will have to do. But yeah, feed some direct power to that. That way I can put an ordinary light bulb in there or something like that, which would help a little bit in this area, of course. I could try and move that down here, but I kind of want it just where it is there. But yeah, a bit bummed out about this, because I really want to use this mercury fixture in here, because mercury lamps are really long lifespan and high efficiency. So I don't really know. But yeah, it feels like over the door is gonna be the best option, and I think I have just about enough wire to actually do that as well. This thing here, if I just use that for the install, it's gonna work fine, since I just installed it with zip ties in here anyways. I don't really care. So we'll run that from that box along here together with that wire to that lamp, and just away. Unfortunately, I don't think this lamp holder has a... No, it doesn't have a cable gun on that side, so I can't tap into that and continue, because that would be the neatest solution, but I don't think that's possible, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll have to run a wire from here and back there. It's just gonna have to be that way, and I don't really care, but you know, I want to try and save on the resources a bit, because I don't have a whole lot of wires actually. I was lucky to find this piece. But yeah, I think over the door is going to be the best option, but then again, and I was experimenting, and I made this piece of wood here, and I thought about, you know, removing my tool basket here. I don't want to really do that, because I like this being in this position. It's out of the way, and I've got the tools relatively handy. If anything, it should be moved over there, but I don't really want to do that, because it's always been here and I like it here. And you know, I thought putting a piece of plywood here, screwing in here, and I realized that's not going to hold up in the long run, is it? And the lamp is going to be too bloody close to my head again. Really, this light fixture up there is the perfect light fixture for this, but it's not rated for the bloody wattage. That's the big problem. It is a ceramic base. It's a ceramic. This whole thing is ceramic, so I don't think it's gonna really have any problems in the long run, but it would be nice to put something to protect the lamp, you know, from accidentally bumping my head into it. And it would be kind of cool to reuse this. It's a bit mossy, but you know, imagine that here, like that. That would actually look kind of cool, wouldn't it? And it would protect the light bulb from getting completely smashed. However, that thing would limit the light angle, I think. So really, this thing is what I should use. Extremely mossy, but imagine that up here. Yeah, that's a nice heat shield, isn't it? That's gonna do wonders, but how am I gonna mount the bloody thing? I actually don't know. We do have those holes there, and I guess if you want to, you could take some really long screws and drive them into here, like here and here, so it wouldn't interfere with the wire on that side. I guess that could work, and then we remove these ballasts here because they're 130 watts. I don't want that much ballasting, and we replace it with this one. See how hot it is. Oh yeah, that thing is nice and toasty. Bloody hell. And that's running at 80 watts. Imagine how bloody toasty it would get at 125. See the capacitor? The capacitor seems fine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that capacitor. It's a bit low on the microfarads. It's 9 microfarads. It's supposed to be 10, but it's good enough. But yeah, not quite sure what I want to do, to be honest. I really haven't decided, and I want to unplug this now. So let's go. Ah, you can see it's glowing red a bit there. Oh, what's up with the camera? Oh, I've got a screen open. Here we go. That's pretty damn awesome. I am kind of wondering if we could build our own fixture with this. Gotta be a bit careful since this is so hot right now, but how hard would it be to, you know, mount this into something like a bucket, or I don't know, old pot or something like that? And just have this thing. I gotta think about that idea. And it would be possible to mount it on some standoffs, actually. Maybe I will take that, put it on some standoffs here, and mount that to this plate. I think I'm gonna go for that, actually. And then we clean these up and we put this on it. Alright, we put this on it. Because these screw holes, let me show you. Those screw holes, they line up. Let me show you. Here and here. So you see where I got the ground wire attached right now. There, those two screws are for holding the heat shield and the, I don't know, thing that goes around it. So really, if you take some long standoffs on this, here and here, I think I have some in fact, then we can just mount this on that plate up there, and yeah, that's gonna be bloody perfect. And then the ballast and everything will be on the light fixture. We can remove all this crap and run direct power to there. That's gonna be bloody brilliant. Haha, I've got an idea now, and now we're gonna make it happen. It's a bit dark here, and I can't use that as a work light when I put it up, of course, because that would be bloody hard. I got an idea, and I think it's gonna work. I am not so dumb, and you know what? We need to shut off the inverter. think it's gonna sit there and drain my batteries overnight otherwise. But I think I know what I'm gonna do now. I think it's gonna work out really well. Let's go to the workshop. It is properly dark out here. Got maximum exposure on the camera. It is properly dark out here. Sun has gone down long ago. But yeah, let's head to the workshop. Ah yeah, welcome! And here we got the amplifier project as well. Which I haven't done a thing to. I did get the terminal strips in, so that's fantastic. So we can actually work on that now when I feel like it. But yeah, right now, Mercury lamp is #1 priority. Yeah, look at this. This is perfect, guys. So we take 2 of these per side. Alright, 2 of these per side. And that's gonna hold up the fixture itself from the back. I think that's gonna be long enough actually. I think these are pretty much the length we need. Then we need some way to secure these. So we're gonna need some small, short M6 bolts. Preferably with some washers, I think, so that we don't get any problems there. There we go, we got 2 of them. We just need another bolt now. Yeah, something like that. So that's gonna hold it into the thing up in the roof, the mounting plate there. You can tell my English is extremely good. And then this is gonna hold. Actually, we could just thread that through the plate because there really isn't a whole lot of. That will work as well, I think. So we'll take some nuts. Some salt. I like these kinds because they don't work themselves loose. Overkill really for this application, but again they're free, so we are gonna use them. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter if the washers are bent, so we're just gonna use these dinged up old washers. It really doesn't matter at all. So there we go, we got the whole bloody kit now. We got these, we got this for mounting, and that plate up there in the roof, it's 1mm thick, and this is like 10mm, so it's gonna be plenty of material there. Yeah, this is gonna work out. This is gonna be pretty damn good. Why didn't I think of this earlier? I'm such an idiot. Anyways, we have all this, and now we're just gonna make it happen, really. That's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting times out in Off-Grid House. It is Ryobi flashlight time. I've got very low battery in the phone, so I'm not gonna film too much more tonight. But oops, there goes the washer, or not rather. Okay, so here we have these. Let's see, are they long enough? Yes, they are. Okay, let's see, is this thing cooled down now? So I don't burn myself on it. Where am I gonna put this bloody thing? I really don't want to hurt it, because it's the only one I've got, so gotta treat it with care. Okay, so here we have the fixture. So we're simply going to, and the M6 fits perfectly there. So we're gonna, okay, let me show you here in a bit. Okay, so this is the idea. Like that and like that, and then we take this up to the roof there, and we drill holes through the plate, stake that on through, and we simply, well, it's pretty straightforward. Screw that in. Ballast is still bloody hot. But it is gonna work. This is awesome. And then we put these on top of the plate, and these, and that's it. Stupid. It's so simple. And yeah, this is just temporarily right now. These are loose and everything, but it's gonna work. And then the wires, we just screw those straight in there, and we put on those things, and we'll be done. It's gonna be super simple, stupid simple, and it's gonna work really, really well, reliably, never gonna fail. And that's it, my battery is dead.